Flash in with a lot of presence from Gentlemates towards this B site. Salvo's gone in, not finding the value they needed, and the nade does for Keiko. It's Team Liquid with a double opening and an immediate stagger of this push from Gentlemates. They'll now have to wait this one out. Still a paranoia, and the stun will come back online, but with the Viper wall already placed, feels like they're kind of pigeonholed into this take.
It's definitely a rough position. If you go forward, you're going to be struggling to find too much, although saying that, they have managed to get at least a little bit of extra ground, the flash through, along with the paranoia, but no one's actually capitalized off it. Minny, though, there he is. Spoke about him. Not quite the one I was thinking of, but that's a huge couple of kills to get them back into the round.
Yeah, this one's definitely standing tall with those picks and a third under his belt. Gentlemates have recovered beautifully, and now the push down below, they are revealed, so a good idea, and a stun followed through. Slow down that peak from up top. The star doesn't catch. kamyk does, and around, but full utility for the most part. Early push by Click, and he'll pay for that.
And it seems like his plan on a lot of these rounds is to just have no fear. Like, just go diving into positions. In the last round, obviously, you have a huge weaponry advantage, but in this round, not so much the case. I think we've seen that Click is a confident player both within and out of the server. Question is, though, can they find anything more? That was one of the rifles, by the way. I think that might even be both of them now. The Bulldog's still in hand, but at least that Phantom is still dropped in bottom mid, so that there's not really anywhere near as much to play with as they had at the beginning of this round.
Trade-off. Not even coming in the forms of picks, a bit of map control that's being conceded, as we can see. Team Liquid with a very passive approach, and a lot of this comes down to knowing that that utility is likely to be fired in if they were on site. The stun will buy some time, it will isolate Camo on the site, and they'll find the pick as a result, catching a headshot, but not the kill on the walkout. With Keiko taking Kada, this one looks very difficult indeed. kamyk, he wants to sell that A-fake.
30 seconds left.
Zero actually isn't the best eventually. We'll peek back out, look to delay. Salvos to the back of sight, and a lurk coming through from Minny, maybe trying to catch players out. Zyppan those done well, playing that entry role, but Keiko still sits within this site. 14 seconds left, they have to try and get that planted, and now the full force of this Liquid roster are into position, trying to basically swarm out. Gentlemates, exactly what they've done, leaving just one
from a pistol, and even then it's only the stinger in the hands of Click. Ultimates, I mean, there is a rolling thunder, one away from Armageddon, but really, we need to see a post plant before they'll think about putting those through. And picks unlikely to be given. Again, the respect the Team Liquid are giving them on the side is clear.
Spike planted.
Off your feet.
That's immediate. Using a couple of ults, maybe they expected a bit more to be invested into this round. The third ult. Okay, although this round is almost definitely going the way of Liquid, I'm surprised how much has actually been invested into this round. Oh, not the prettiest of sprays, and well, the defusal.
I think their own players. Showstopper invested, big investment, but then the picks start going the other direction. Minny is just popping from under them by the stick. Team Liquid 3-2. You got to commend them for being able to take that across the line. Now Armageddon thrown in on middle. That's the Viper's pit that's being put into question, and that's dropped. The pit is gone, and the reward for the side of Gentlemates is huge. That's an opening pick, and they've got a pit of their own if they get to a site, which now should be a little bit easier.
If anything, though, I feel like the ults have somewhat been the undoing of these squads. Almost caught out, but Serial hasn't found the damage he was hoping for. No lucky charms to be found this time, and unfortunately that means that they are going to have to fall back out of the site. You mentioned that Viper's pit, and honestly, attack side health versus down to big plays from the likes of Minny. kamyk is on 1 health, so yeah, there is absolutely no surviving that one. Exactly what I'm talking about. Like, the way that this has started out is they've lost their breach player. And okay, sure, there's 2 weapons missing, but I think they'll take that over a player missing.
I think that's a worthwhile trade. Especially if they do decide to give up that space. You know, Gentlemates have a decision to make here. Zyppan, he's a bit isolated. Imagine a player walks up ramp. It's a free kill. For now, he's selling that false information as the drone goes up into heaven. Team Liquid concede that space. Still 4 players around this A side, including the vent position being held by Keiko, and it looks like he has got some enemies at the gates. A big kill to start, but can't correct for the second. 3v4. But moving back to the A side, Team Liquid are still very much here.
Yeah, that's the problem. They didn't pull any rotations with even their fake. And while paTiTek has done well from the side, again, we get down to the last few seconds, 12, to try and make their move. It's left all on to Kada. A player coming in from behind, and that will be enough.
They just want to keep on that slow grind. Keep the numbers close. Right away, that showstopper's used up, and it's Serial that finds the rocket heading his way. Trade onto Nats as well. Backside fight goes Keiko's way. He picks up the first, but the stun is good. Teammates come rushing in from heaven, though. The cover is here, and there's nowhere to go, surely. But Kada, he slips out, manages to come from the shadows out on the A side and find himself a plant. From here, though, 3 players he's facing off against. They could group up, and that's exactly what they'll do. Approach this one together. Down towards the screens. Already he's hearing one, but they're making it towards the site. They'll see it's a plant for heaven. This time they want a more direct approach. Still, there's a bit of a stagger and a rotation as a result. Keiko's going to be here, but it's paTiTek as the front line of defense, and he is immediately shut down. The 1 kill, though. Keiko slips back onto the site. Minny is eagerly awaiting his arrival. Camo shuts down one, and it's the spike. A small delay that's put into play. It'll be retrieved now by Kada. The ult is seeking and finding all that info.
Still, it's a little bit awkward for the rest of the players to make sure every single angle is clear. Spike's still not down. They are within the site, all stuck behind. They have to try and peek together.
It does leave heaven a little undefended, a little open. And mates are walking right into that empty space. Big pick from Minny.
It seems like he's almost become their entry fragger. This guy is playing that Viper, but it almost feels at times that the calling is around himself. Like, can I do this? Can I put the world on my back? And to be honest, in the rounds they've won, he has been a bit of a hero for them. This is so risky. 45 HP, I was gonna say, it needed to be an instant headshot. Doesn't manage to get the kill, and finally, we see the awakening of Click. A little bit quiet thus far, but if they can get the last couple of rounds, there's at least a good chance.
30 seconds
7 to 5, nothing to turn your nose at. And of course, like I said, Team Liquid will feel comfortable with a cushion like this moving into the next half, but mates, can't think about your options over to the big old gun as the salvos come in. Not good for the kill. The shorty comes out though as Click's baited in. He thinks it's an off on the other side, so he won't like the close range engagement, but he was primed and ready for it.
They put salvos behind, so they knew where he'd be.
Has to be stuck close. They had a read on the 1 long barrel, but not the 2 short ones. Team Liquid still keeping presence A. There was a chance here that Keiko was on the rotate, but he's going to be ready for a second run on this operator.
Whether they place... Ooh, I was going to say, whether they place the Rolling Thunder. There you go. He's used it immediately, because almost died seconds later. And that time is ticking again. This has been the problem for mates. That clock getting lower and lower, and the spike down on the deck. Click, who now has to be a little bit more careful. I say that, I reckon he's going to go through this.
He's already past the stun. I mean, they both are. They're so close, ready for the fight. But kamyk and Click are the ones finding the kills. Click was able to walk down the stairs there from up in B heaven and claim that frag. Nats tries to recover on picks, but finds nothing short of a shot back from Zyppan. Waiting for Serial to wrap around, but they are just going to send this down 2 different avenues. It's a big risk. They'll have to win their ones.
The timing, well, the stun hasn't connected, and now for Serial, this becomes nigh on impossible. In fact, he's going to be spotted.
Find value if they don't get the early picks, which they really didn't with that util. And the post plants were hard to come by. 1-to-1 trades here. Not ideal. That's a weapon picked up on the other side. A classic running through mid. Has just found a pickup in heaven, and there is mistake after mistake with an outlaw picked up. Everybody's in danger. Those light shields might as well not be there. And so, it's Minny to do it all.
Extra cash. And what's worse, I think the map gives it away. There is absolutely nothing on this B side of the map. A site was stacked, and the thing is, these steps will definitely be heard. That's why the pace has been picked up from Liquid. They will get into a post plant. That's gonna, oh yeah. Whoops. Oh, okay. I did not expect him to miss one. This is a 2v2. This round really should have been over, but somehow now we've got some weaponry retrieved. That same sniper that dealt death in the last is back in their hands again.
They've recovered it, but recovering the round's a whole different story. Those two rifles up against the clock. You know there's an Astra in play. Always the potential for the grab. Well, you might think he's playing the post plant, but he's still on site. He can get that easy backstab, but geez, that backfired with a couple opening kills going the other way. Team Liquid found themselves on a weak buy. Wall up, Stingers into the A side, and the plan, I mean, it might just be found for free, yeah.
This feels like NA.
Spike planted.
I never see this many Stingers in our region. It's not somewhere out there. Lothar might have a smile on his face, but I think it's the time. Already going to start ticking. A quick jump over. Well done from Keiko, getting 2 out of that. We could have the most horrible back and forth to start off this map, but Minny still standing. That at least gives me hope.
Oh, I was going to say don't do Kada like that, but barely above 1K. It's movement towards heaven. Showstopper popped. It's going to be hard to find a target, clearing out space down below. Nade does the same for heaven, but they're swinging through it. Playing ahead of the nade. kamyk has wrapped in. They have no idea he's here, but they clear it anyways. paTiTek does remarkably well to find that. With Serial and Nats popping off, it's Zyppan left alone. I respected that play from kamyk. I thought that could have been the round in their pocket with 2 or 3 kills once the smoke faded, but somehow, despite that space being clear seconds ago, paTiTek was worried. Maybe he heard a step, whatever it was. It's left Zyppan in a space where he cannot even save this.
I'd want to see kamyk's face of this scenario, but maybe that'll happen eventually. It's already gone horribly. Shooting the clone, trades out. And while Kada was trying to potentially teleport in, he's not going to get there in time. This will just be for safety, making sure the entirety of the site is clear. The rest of the team just waiting patiently for that information to be had. In fact, they're even going to give the spike over to Camo just to make sure. Cosmic Divide making
Spike planted.
it definite that nobody can get any shots onto Camo. Well, they're looking for a hero again. I look to this man.
Snake bites landed at least, but look how many players are there. Alongside Camo on the jet, this is where trouble starts to brew. Players already spotted in the drone, stops them from using their abilities. Camo sees one on short. They're starting to tick all the boxes here. Team Liquid know exactly where the hit's coming in, but Click tries to use the stun to get back sight. Unfortunately, Keiko's there, filling in the space and filling the bodies with lead on the other side. It's Team Control. 40 seconds left, though. Nats is a big pick. It's going to free up a lot of the site control, but Serial has filled in the gap, making his way into this corner. He'll be spotted, revealed, the spams into the corner, not landing on him. The trade, at least from paTiTek, but numbers thinning out. paTiTek holding strong, and Camo's here to help. Minny giving away his flank, but gets it to a 1v1, 15 seconds. The spike has to go down on A at this point. There's no time to turn tail. paTiTek going to expertly reposition down
left.
below. It's a gamble from Minny as to where he could be, and Minny wins.
He's almost farmed up.
Oh, this push down by Camo is risky. The head spotted and connected on, and he has his dash to get right out. That's a nice start. He's going back out for more. They won't expect it. After seeing him fall, that's a different game entirely.
Timing.
They've seen him.
Timing.
They saw the barrel. I mean, it's just a bad position unless you've got that bait.
It was also, Keiko was, I think, setting up a smoke, so because of that, that setup completely fell apart. They've given up the space. Serial, that's the second time he's been scanned after missing the dart. Luckily, though, oh, when you've got Nats, you've got Keiko. Sometimes that's enough. Still 2 players, one of them Minny. kamyk still looking for something versus his whole team, and now needs to do it all. 2 players standing down to low HP.
But for mates, let's see if they can find recovery. Even in this round, there's chances. Nats is there to pick up the opening. The rest of the squad a little late in following it up. Now they flood through that tiny little choke point, looking for the fight. They might get it. This is a good opportunity with the Stinger up close and the Sheriff follow-up from kamyk. That's about as good of a start as you could wish for.
All the information as well that the C site is clear. They can retrieve a gun or 2, get into post-plant positions. There's a lot of ultimates that are close, though. That's the main worry. Armageddon, 1 away. Bladestorm, 1 away. Any kills going in the other direction could be a problem. kamyk could get 1, though. getting ever closer to his own and gets an isolated fight. Serial a little bit ahead of the curve, and Aftershock versus Aftershock, but it's going to come down to just paTiTek. Clears out that first kill, but there are 2 more to find, and that time is ticking. You can see Kada has not got the best weaponry, but he's just looking to be awkward, create issues for his opponent.
And that's a big issue. Smoke down, he knows the defuse can't be had before a pick is found. Unfortunately, just listen to how quickly the ticks are coming in on that spike. Patty looking for a little bit more, and he'll find it.
Very strong early starts from the side of mates, so it's good that they're back already.
Well, Keiko looking to be a thorn in the side, but they have rooted him out of position. The advantage stays with mates, the site to be taken, rolling thunder put in early. That's getting Serial into position to slow or maybe stop this push altogether. The drone up top, it's catching info, and they're following up, swinging in, but it's kamyk holding the angle that finds the reward. Nats, 3 players to pick up. The drones even spotted him, so right away, there's no surprise anymore. Mates know exactly where he is, and I don't think you see very often a player look for that spam battle after being spotted up, so an ambitious play by Nats, and he did some damage.
I think that's exactly why he did it. Oh, close angle. That's risky. This is not the sort of guy that you want to give opportunities to. Nats now turning it into a 1v2. The crossfire is still nasty. Realistically, when contact is made, there should be a swing, and expectations incredibly low for Camo. He's either got to get enough kills that he's close to his ult, or he's got to basically win it. This is going well for Nats, though. This is why you want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. Keiko gets one as well with the shotgun, and they have not got rid of Nats. That is, as said, in the last round, the goal was kill Nats. The goal is still kill Nats.
Yeah, and it ain't going well.
No,
He's picked up a third, the first 2 with a sheriff, and now the recovered rifle working wonders.
Goka's going, I said kill Nats.
Well, that strategy might have to be repeated in the next time.
Single gun completely changed around. An aggressive start, solid stun out from paTiTek. Going to set up Camo wonderfully. In fact, the second assist, but goes out for more. And in fact, Zyppan's found a quick double, and then Minny's lurking to get his revenge. Catches out Nats. Now it's left all onto one, and well, Minny has immediately called for that rotation. Bring the spike to me. Throughout the match by his opponent, but he is now the top fragger in the server. Removing this gun would be nice, but I think it's such an unexpected angle to be held, and well, the rest of the players a little bit further away. Keiko actually going back to the side. Got to be careful. Well,
9 by 3, a different face to mates. Armageddon used, salvo sent through, and it's kamyk and Kada caught. A huge performance from Team Liquid with early aggressive util on A, and they have sent Minny into a difficult scenario, a 1v5 to pick up. The spike's down.
kamyk just died to the setup he normally runs. Like, we've literally seen him do that exact setup, and they've just fallen hook, line, and sinker for the exact same thing. It is very difficult to avoid, I'll say. If you're set up outside A, it's a disgusting combination. And while Minny leading by example, and an aggressive jet of Camo, you got a good chance.
Well, it's time to get right into the game and right into the B side. Camo going deep on that dash. Smoke off to the left side as they look to work A with this split, and Camo will be a real annoyance to these players as he wraps all the way around, tucked on the boxes, hearing the rotations as well. They could bring the spike back, but I think they're going to try to use Camo when he springs that trap. It could be being watched by Kada. The timing here will be everything as the fight on the site. They've lost Kada. Now their back is wide open. They need to fight forward. kamyk, good for one onto paTiTek, and he'll keep them boxed in. The spike can't run back, can't cross and move to C without going straight through kamyk. It has managed to slip out with the TP, but that leaves a player isolated, surrounded, and a shock dart. Heard lots of noise moving towards this B site. It's all about his timing. Oh, but he's paranoid. It's still good for one, but the trade so quick. And as they pull back into the angle, the close range weapons, well, they love that fight. They don't like that one, though. Minny shutting them down.
Again. Solid position. Is it read by Nats? We've seen this position, but on the other side, back in the cam, knows there's still a guy there. Stun comes through, just looks to try and clear him out. That's wonderful. And then the Hunter's Fury used as well. 20 seconds of the move is made, and that kill was everything for Keiko. The time is going to be rough just to try and get back in. A solid stun might even close this one out.
And they're ready. Everybody's here. Aftershock in and Zyppan.
Gentlemates look calm and even confident at this stage. They are swinging for battles and brawls versus pistols. They seem to not give a damn about who's standing on the other side. A kill for Nats will garner his ult, will give them information. But what does that information tell you? Okay, they are spread across the map.
Great. Go action on that. For mates, that has been really nice to see on this defensive side. I mean, crazy over rotations. Both players were low, and Keiko manages to find both kills as a result. Rifle recovered. And mates, they might not over-rotate, but both players dying on B leaves a real problem in the late round. Zyppan, well, he was surrounded, but it was a 1v1 with Nats.
A little bit more free-flowing, like people left to their own.
They can rotate in and again be much heavier stacked up elsewhere. Armageddon put into play for Team Liquid. It's towards the C site. Pressure put onto a player like Minny, but he delivers every time under this pressure. Kada, having snuck in along, was in a good spot, but Keiko pulls it right back. Nats sneaking through. Stuck down. He's on the defensive side, so you're not going to need the spike, are you? Don't know what I'm talking about.
He's trying to protect this
I
fight,
want mates to be back on the attack, Tom. It was a much better side setup on C. They had the aggression, they had the spike, it didn't work out. Now for Liquid, they're going right back to the C side, feeling perhaps like there's some blood in the water, but Minny is holding strong. This guy's been delivering every time they need him, and he does with a double. In comes Click, ult activated, information there for him as well. He's trying to force the fight with very low HP on Keiko. It looked like a good decision until paTiTek. Blindly all too often, and there has been space there. Click. Oh, he's pushed out by the salvos, and that's ready and waiting. But Minny steps in to fill the space with Kada. 2 kills and the advantage back for them. kamyk there for a double.
Leave you with a lot. Even just in terms of where to go. Doesn't know what parts of the map are clear. Obviously still having the expectation, like Zyppan has been late on A almost every single round, and now the place he smoked is the place that they're looking to push through. Other side has been smoked off, maybe considering where they are. He's heard the steps. That will at least give the game away for one of the players. Spam doesn't connect and has to be careful. Nats has had a pop. Big steps being heard, but Serial's waiting for it. I don't think that was an intentional bait, but it is a bait, and Camo's now found that solo man. They've known this as well. Zyppan has been holding on to that A site unless there's been a push. Now with no ultimates other than, well, the from the shadows, and even that's going to get dissipated. Minny with 1, he's been a hero, but he could do no more. And it is kamyk versus his former squad to try and fight versus the lot of them. Otherwise, overtime is coming, and I'll be honest, I think it is. Guarantee it. I guarantee. This is literally paTiTek just trolling. He's shouting at him across the stage. Oh my god.
2 players left back on B. They're going to sneak through and try to steal that space out from under Team Liquid while applying all this pressure. That'll be the spike going back in the other direction, and this is a great read from the attack on where Liquid have been leaving those gaps. Nats, he loses the fight as well. Finally, click in with the opening pick, and that should get them a plant.
I'd be very worried if it doesn't. Serial now has to deal with the same fate potentially. Nice shot.
They don't know about the second.
Yeah, but it's whether or not Kada actually swings first and actually gets the info, but Kada is there just by the TP again. Keiko seems to get so much space from absolutely nothing, but it's Zyppan. 2 quick kills through the smoke, and only Camo standing here. Twice. It's this same battle. We've seen it many a time. Zyppan looking for the fight, even swinging out for the fight. Will go down because of it. And as said, a lot of the time he has been that solo A hold. The thing is, though, mates are not just sitting pretty, they are walking up mid.
They've taken this space a few times. That's not always successful. Often Team Liquid were ready for it, waiting for it, but a player deep in window, not on their radar. 3 versus 4, and steps heard towards the A site. Guess who's holding down strong here? Minny's been on C, but he swapped it up, and now they don't know what they're running into. That stun was beautiful, and Minny's in with the double. Gentlemates fighting tooth and nail for this map. And the pistols are pulled in full effect. It's 4 ghosts. Gentlemates moving quickly towards this A site. They've already ran into the nano, but that won't slow them down. Quickly filling in around the backside, and cancelled utility. The alarm bot is no real danger, but Team Liquid are taking their time before going for this engagement. kamyk stuck that despite going down to 1 HP. They get the kills! I don't know what strat that is, but I need to note it down.
The whole round so far from Zyppan. We've definitely seen some of the individual brilliance that we know he's had in his locker this whole time. And I thought kamyk was going to get the final kill. Got to be careful. It is still Nats, but up top every map is going to count.
Of course, for those Ascension teams, it carries a little bit more weight as well.
Yeah.
Nats stun is good. He won't be able to swing out wide and stop that aggression from Gentlemates. That's at least one pick found for free, and Click from miles away is recovering, putting it down to a 4v3 with Camo's pick as mates look to take this in the other direction.
Keiko.
They've got to go right past Keiko. The jump peek works out.
He's not dying. That's like a final stand on. Oh.
He thought he had the kill.
A little bit too quick on the trigger. Even still, though, he comes back to finish the job. Quick trade, paTiTek nowhere to be seen as well from Zyppan. They've held their utility. They still have the knife. They can use an awful lot. But it seems like maybe just spotting a couple of players here or a piece of utility that have been used, they're going to start going back in the other direction. Could be the deep position of their Viper.
Yeah, the back yellow control already. You know it's a more passive hold, and with that Viper wall, you can get space towards the site. Zyppan traded out on A. It doesn't draw rotation, so they're still here ready and waiting, but with Serial falling, it's Nats. The ult fired right in towards him, still gets two. Delays slightly, 10 seconds though, just enough for that plan to go down. The ult back in the other direction. Virgin Path sent in, and Camo really taking the space as the refractive fall back and themselves on an eco, of course, not even if they lose this round, and that's not looking likely with an opening of Minny onto Keiko. Camo having to give up space, but paTiTek finding the pick, at least stopping Click on the cross. Patty will stay up close, looking for this fight. Kada snake bite buys them a little bit of space, and the stun is good. The Armageddon now fired in will pull them into the open, but with the Viper wall up, there's no way to punish on that deep flash by kamyk. They should know that he could be through this wall. He definitely had to be close to be right-clicking the flash in, and they're checking it, aware of it, and Camo finds the kill as a result. Zyppan, as the wall falls, looks for a duel back in the other direction, but the trades keep it in favor of Team Liquid. Rotate as well with Nats coming in. Viper's Pit not likely to be used, but maybe now. With paTiTek falling and pressure on for Serial. It's had a tough few fights, but this round stepping up for the double and leaving Minny to do it all. But in clutches, he's been good.
They have the info. paTiTek will know that there's potential for them to have gone back. The spike is still outside of Ada. That could have been everything. If the timing worked out, it was a split second from them seeing kamyk and the spike being on the ground. Instead, though, Click is lost, but Zyppan's position makes this one tough. If they can push forward and catch the players on the edge of the pit, they did not expect Serial to be waiting. And now, while they have to deal with the man inside that pit, and they do!
Minny has done a remarkable job. That's pulled it back into the realms of possibility. Team Liquid floating back in before the spike goes down, but the players from Liquid do instead. It's Minny again, digging deep when he's needed the most.
Take a lick of damage.
Doing that while leading as well. Just the consistency is... This from Keiko! A double opener!
Wow.
A headshot angle, and he got exactly what he needed.
Oh,
okay,
hello.
it's a good job the refract's online there.
There's so much chaos. I don't even get a moment to breathe without something ridiculous happening. Keiko is giving them hope in a round where there was none. 4 pistols still stand where there was 5 to begin with. And unfortunately, collecting the rifles is a no-go. Sending through the salvos to try and clear the player. While using utility, they do need someone to find a kill to get them back. At least level.
Oh, this fight for mates! Serial's done so well! Armageddon's put through! It's gonna slow this one way down, and for Team Liquid, this round is clearly feeling winnable. paTiTek has snuck around the back of the boxes, and himself and Serial find another. Kada with the clutch on his hands, and he... Oh.
You should run.
Well, the lockdown in play, there is a lockdown for Serial as well.
But this also guarantees them an orb for the next ult. If they want to pick it up and just basically go, okay, we traded an ult, we have another ult and the site.
Especially if kamyk's the one finding that. Viper's pick goes into play. Big danger again. Serial can just use that lockdown to cause issues, and that's exactly what's going to go into play. And sure, kamyk pops ult before, but it's not going to do a whole lot in terms of stopping the lockdown. They still need to respect it. They've managed to destroy it though, and actually Armageddon almost avoided staying inside the pit now. A lot of presence all over the site being heard by Kada, but they can't find him. They don't know where he's gone, and from the top rope he'll find one. Now they know, but it could be too little, too late. He's still involved. Good timing, good read, and it's very difficult to counter that on the other side through the nano that was sent in to destroy some util and, well, maybe cause some problems. Serial does well here, landing himself the first. The spike down on the floor, and so is Kada. Numbers thinning out for mates. Liquid trailing by 4, but they're starting to pick up the pace now towards the end of the half. 7-5 still possible. Great crossfire in the spawn as well. If Minny pushes that door, he was dead. To Keiko alongside paTiTek. Keiko goes hunting out on the site and finding free kills. This is looking much better for Team Liquid.
It's a round that they really cannot afford to let slip. Click. No idea there's a player directly below him. The moment, as you can see, Minny's had his moments. Spike in hand, he's been spotted. The run back, he's going to have an idea that there's players around this position, but he is not. Nats was isolated when he was in this position. It's understandable that he is just going to give up that spot. Not worth fighting for. Just look how much utility sent in. Nice start, but the trades come back thick and fast. Keiko, it should be freebie. It will be.
Yeah, Click going a little bit too loud on the way through. Misreading the rotations. It's given a real chance. The side of Liquid. Keiko and Camo, the two on their way back through, full utility belts. Paranoia still up, smoke for the spike already, that's putting pressure on. 6 seconds till salvos, but Zyppan has to fight, and that's the utility now removed. One piece at least. kamyk bought himself a bit more time, and Paranoia was used back yellow. They don't know where he is, but being forced to spam, thinking they're on the spike, but now it's a 1v1. More doable, but Camo got ahead of the problem. Time running low.
No,
it will be close.
I don't think so.
Very close, but not.
They're at match point.
Swing by Camo. Minny shutting it down. That's the only pick for Gentlemates so far. He's tagged desperately low. Down to 4 HP, forced to fall back, and the site now claimed for a plant. Push in, not gonna work out for Keiko though, and so numbers back to square footing, but it's Minny being so low that makes this a difference.
A little bit overzealous though, wanting to try and get that close ground, but instead giving an opportunity. Click now finds another. A few slip-ups, a few missed shots, giving those opportunities over, and that's not connecting either. It is going to be the salvos, but kamyk continues to push. Again.
Bring that up in the post-game interview. 9-4.
I won't ask that question, someone else.
And it's a big buy from Team Liquid. They've invested fully into the Stingers. They want to stop this madness before it gets way out of hand, and we might already be there. A loss in this round, it could signal the beginning of the end.
We're going to invest into this round, so everybody purchased, taking 0 risks, having, look, when the map comes up at the end, they're all on this silent at the worst possible time. In the last map, they fought back to OT.
He pushed up, got a kill for free. He's going to say, okay, are you going to give me that gap again? The answer this time was no. They're pushing in off the back of another kill, traded out this time, but still leaving Team Liquid with the advantage. kamyk hasn't been spotted! And he's good for only one, a better weapon there, and that could be a disaster. But instead, Team Liquid given a moment to breathe, a 1v3, and Minny caught.
Finally put a stop to the streak, but there's definitely a lot still to go. Solid fly.
Okay, well, now it makes a bit more sense why the kill came in.
Weird, there's no assist.
Yeah.
But are well aware of. Looks like a retake setup. Camo looking to clear now, there you go. Maybe a little bit of an overface from kamyk. The rest of the team, it does seem almost telegraphed that they're playing this one for a retake, but he's ahead of the curve, looking for those fights. Mentioned the potential overconfidence, and these sort of rounds begin to look quite easy. The fact is, though, we have seen many a round turn on its head. It's not pretty from Keiko, but the job is done nonetheless, and, well, getting back onto this is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, just a little bit of an overheat. Minny goes through the wall, through the smoke, expecting they've already fallen back, but it was very much not the case. Stun, that's actually decent. That's just too far back to be caught by it, though, and with utility still on the spike and time ticking away, Salvo's still online for paTiTek, just now being fired out. This is cementing the round. Climb back slowly. This comeback is not real until I hear paTiTek screaming again. That, for me, is the sign this is going well. Huge potential, and it's Minny to pick up the double.
Click was an observer.
A shutdown that leaves Team Liquid grasping at straws. No map control, nothing to fall back on it. At least having paTiTek still alive for that initiation, that drone through, but Armageddon now with the orb, but I think he was gonna get an orb either way. Come hell or high water, mates. 5. Look at the stack on back A site. All 5 players here. If this was an eco round, it would make sense.
What are they going to push? What ground are they going to take? How are they going to make this difficult for us? And this is the thing, we saw this setup before, where it's an early, aggressive start to the round. It's already a kill, and another comes up for Click. A beautiful setup. They were ready for a player not to be allowed to move away from that convergence path, and now the attackers, they've got to react. They've got to try and take space elsewhere. They're trying to head to A.
The deep salvo combo is just so dangerous, and we get to see it in full effect in that round. Containment is the name of the game for Gentlemates. Turret still watching their back, and the rest of the squad looking firmly forward. Now that ult, it will stop some utility, and that lets them just run straight through on the mate side, dominating the duels as we've seen.